What is going on, everybody? It's the Aviator here, back with another video. And today is going to be a trip report from Dallas to Chicago. This trip report is going to start exactly where we left off on the last trip report from Memphis to Dallas. If you haven't seen that one, link is going to be in the description, at the top of the description there. You can go out and check that out. I'd really appreciate it if you left a like on that one. And this is going to be very interesting to see what wide-body travel's like nowadays, and what the 787 is like, because I've never flown on the 787 until now. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax and enjoy the trip report. Right here, we are in Dallas's Terminal K, where almost all of the international flights are dealt out of. And as you can see, the Dillon's Candy Bar is closed in Dallas temporarily due to the coronavirus. So that was a big letdown for me. I always visit this candy store when I'm in Dallas. So I decided to go ahead and get some Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is really good. You know, you can always count on Chick-fil-A wherever you are in the country. So Dallas is one of the busiest airports in America right now. They're operating pretty normal. And there's really just no complaints here. It's just like a normal airport now, except everyone's wearing masks. Dallas Airport, at least Terminal K, is very big. There's lots of room for all the international travelers that are going out of Dallas. Qantas serves their A380 flight, and right now you're getting a first look at our bird for today. November 808 Alpha November. 808 Alpha November, sorry about that. It's going to be taking us to Chicago today. Very beautiful bird. And let's see how she handles to Chicago. One thing that is definitely worth mentioning is that I upgraded my seat for $50. That's $50 per seat for main cabin extra, which I thought was more like a business class experience. Now, I got priority boarding over most people. I think my boarding group was boarding group 3, I believe, so I was very early. So all of these shots that you see inside the airplane were pre-boarding almost. It felt like I was on the plane. I was part of the flight crew. It almost felt like. But I wasn't. But that's okay. Now, upon boarding the 787, I was extremely excited. So if you see any wonky shots or anything like that, that's just me being purely excited. And this bird is huge. That is where I got the first glimpse of how big this bird was. Later, I would be notified that I would not be allowed to film the flight attendants. And right here, they're handing me a complimentary bag for my travel. And I always sit in economy. If you know that about me, I always fly economy. So once I saw my seats, which are 9L and 9K, I was like, wow, is this really me? And yes, it was. For the next 2 hours and 45 minutes, this would be my seat to Chicago O'Hare. Now, we never used the overhead cabin bins because we only took 2 bags. Because this was only a 3-day trip. I'll say business class has a footrest, which I later learned that it comes down, but at the whole flight, I just thought that it sat there. It's extremely spacious in this cabin. The seats are almost like leather recliners. I swear, these are amazing seats. I'm reliving my excitement now. Moving back into the economy cabin, these seats are just like your regular A319, A320, and all the other 737 seats, and actually 175 seats. There's really nothing different about them. When you get to the back, you'll see that there's a little special surprise, but really, there's really nothing bad about these seats. I mean, they're perfect for this type of flight. They're perfect for 3-4 hour flights. Any more than that, you'll probably get a little bit uncomfortable. But this cabin is very spacious, and it's very luxurious. This is a quick look at what you'll find inside your economy seat if you're flying economy. There's really no complaints here. You'll have tons of pitch and tons of room to lay out if you're about my size. This is a interesting exit door. You'll find these on most of the wide-body aircraft, but I thought it was interesting. So I went ahead and filmed it. Now, when I tell you that I never fly anything special, I never fly anything special. So, being upgraded on the 787 was extremely, it was almost like a sensory overload for me. I was completely out of my wits here. And here's a little sneak peek of what we'll go through on this flight. The American Airlines 787 first class review is coming soon in the middle of the flight. So stick around, please, because it's going to get really interesting pretty soon. Now, when you fly main cabin extra, you will get a little goodie bag here, which I just put to the side. So, flying main cabin extra, you get tons of legroom. More than enough, actually. This legroom is extremely spacious. The windows are huge, and I will show you a perspective of that. The tray table is really easy to come out. You just pull that little tab there, and then you just pull it out, and there's a little, it's my first time going over it, so it's a little difficult to find out at first, but once you find it, you'll get the hang of it pretty easy. You got two modes. You got your dining, and then you got your little armrest area right there. It's pretty easy to fold back. Just push it to the side, and then push it down, just like that. Passengers having a little bit of trouble. And then your IFE screen is pretty good. You can control it with your hands, and you can control it with your remote that they'll give you. The overhead, little air vents and everything, that's much more easier to control than the A319. Trust me on that. Again, tons of legroom, tons of space to do really whatever you want. Here's your remote that they'll give you prior to takeoff. Well, it's built into the seat, so they won't give it to you. But, excuse my hand there, I'll fix it later. It's pretty difficult to find out and to get used to for a 2:45-minute flight. 2-hour 45-minute, I mean, flight. But you'll get used to it if you're flying overseas on the 787. It's pretty easy to figure out. I wish I had more time with it. During taxiing, takeoff, and landing, you have to stow whatever you have out. This is the demonstration of the footrest here. It's pretty simple. If you're tall like me, it's kind of, it's not really needed. Here's the window tint, the famous window tint on the 787-8. It goes up and down. The window tint actually works kind of fast. Not as fast as, if you pull your window shade down, but this is an amazing, an amazing little treat that you get on the 787 as an aviation enthusiast. Now this window tint gets pretty dark. You can see the comparison to the guy in front of me. It gets pretty dark. It almost sounds like you're at night. Seems like you're at night. It's amazing. Now this is almost all the way down. It's still switching colors, as you can see. And one thing that I will point out is on the 787, well, there it is right there, that dark color. When you're flying on the 787, this wing is ginormous, unlike any other that I've ever flown on. And it was just completely amazing to see how big this aircraft was. The pitch and the seats is pretty good, but when you're in the back, it's not that good. Okay, so local time in Chicago is 12:15, and we're going to be arriving in Chicago at about 2:46. I'm sorry. It's going to be a pretty straightforward flight. There's the map, and right now we are on pushback. Now, I was totally geeking out when I heard sounds of these beautiful GE engines on startup, so I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let you listen to these beautiful engines on startup. Hey, did you notice how quiet that cabin was? You could barely even hear the startup. Anyway, starting our taxi out to the active right now. It's going to be a pretty long taxi, about 15-minute taxi, and I filmed all of it. So if you want to skip forward to the takeoff, be my guest. There's a pretty good plane spotting there, and yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Greetings from the flight deck. Couple aircraft ahead of us, and then we will be next. It is going to be a quick, safe trip up to Chicago O'Hare's International Airport. Glad you join us. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Now, Dallas-Fort Worth Tower likes to get these aircraft rolling pretty soon. So, it's not going to be that long of a wait, actually, for takeoff. So, it's not going to be that long of a wait. I was thinking that we were going to have to wait maybe, like, I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes before we could get rolling on our takeoff. But it was only, like, maybe 3 or 4. So, pleasant surprise here. And, so, yeah, we're third in line right now. We were fourth, but now we're third for takeoff. Welcome in the sky, everyone, on board this American Airlines 787-8. Altitude is 39,000 feet. That will be our cruising altitude today over to Chicago. It was a really fast flight. Went by too fast almost for me. We had a little bit of turbulence, but seriously, nothing to complain about here.
Seatbelt sign is on, please.
I got a pleasant surprise for the flight attendant, inviting me up to the first class cabin on the American 787-8, and this will be a in-depth review of that. Now, there's tons of space that I was almost too small to reach my legs out fully to take advantage of that footrest there. Now, looking around this cabin, it's very interesting. In a 1-2-1 layout of this first class cabin, you have pretty good room. My buddy, this seat wasn't occupied, so he just spread all this stuff out. That's why that's there, but it's no big deal. I wasn't here for a while. You get extra leg room, or I should say storage space under that little rest there. And yeah, it was pretty cool to see this cabin. Here's a seat, or here's a view of the seat standing up. Pretty good view. Now this seat it's pretty big. I'd say it's about maybe it fits your whole body, if you will. It's a little bit crowded from the sides, but I mean, seriously, if you're laying down, this is more comfortable than my bed. I'm serious. Okay, so now looking around again, you got the mood lighting set up, which was awesome. So inside your seat you have USB ports and charging ports, two alike, and you also have extra storage space to maybe store a book. Now this, when I say a little bit crowded on the sides, it's pretty okay, almost. I can't even reach out and touch the other end. Now you get almost like a Nintendo Switch type thing over there, and you have almost like an iPhone over there, but the Nintendo Switch, I would say, is it comes out and it's detachable, but I didn't really want to touch that because I didn't really know what happened there. But the iPhone thing doesn't, and that controls your seat. The tray table is actually more difficult to pull out than the business class table or the main cabin extra table. So I had to put the camera down, or put my phone down, and unfold it that way. So it actually extends out perfectly to where you can bridge everything over to your little side desk area over there. Putting it away was pretty easy. All you gotta do is just fold it up and basically just push it down. This is a little pocket, kind of like a seat back pocket, but there's two of them, so it's like a dual seat back pocket, which was pretty cool. Lighting on this shot was terrible, so I'm sorry about that, but that's extra storage space. And yeah, so it's a really good seat here. No complaints so far. So looking at the iPhone here, this controls your seat position. You have like a zero gravity and then a lay flat bed, and then you have your regular seat for takeoff, and then you have like a little lounge seat, which is like your normal little rest back there for a cat nap. This button extends the IFE screen, so you can see you know, what this screen does when you just want to, you know, relax and actually watch a movie or play a game or even talk to your friend next to you or inside the cabin. So it's really cool. Tons of languages, and when I mean tons of languages, I mean like 20 or 30 languages. It took me a while to scroll through all of them. Okay, so it's pretty easy pushing that back. You just really just push it back. So just laying down and enjoying the view, enjoying the blue mood lighting here on this 787. So I was given permission to mess with this seat little iPhone here, and you can actually manually control it, the pitch that way, which you just hold it down and it'll move. You can see me kind of slightly moving there. That's the seat moving for me, and then you can just push it back up that way. Just really make it your own if you want. Now on this setting you can push it all the way to a lay flat bed, or you can just push it some way or push it the other, not actually pushing like a setting or whatever. Now the flight attendant, she said that she would help me on this, so I got to film the seat going back in its own little position while she pressed the button. It's pretty simple. Now this is in the lay flat position, so this is like when you're on a long haul flight and you just want to cuddle up and go to sleep. You can do this on this flight. This is what you're supposed to do. Now when you push it back up, it's pretty simple. It's kind of fast, but not too fast, if you know what I mean. This is the zero gravity position. This is my favorite position. Super comfortable. I mean, I'm talking amazing. Honestly, I'd fly in this any day of the week. Now we're coming up to the regular position now. Slowly turning up to the regular seat. Now this is like your little rest area, and then this is your takeoff position right here. Now this is me just messing around with it myself because I felt like it, so I went ahead and did it. Tons of room to relax. You can just fold up and, you know, put your leg over your knee there and just enjoy the flight. Really, it's just fully adjustable to whatever you want to do. Really, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it for the maybe 30 minutes I was up there. Now moving it back to the takeoff position, so I can, you know, get it ready for while landing almost, because I'm going to be leaving this seat soon. Overall seat review, a classic 8 out of 10 for me, compared to, you know, the other seats like Emirates and Etihad. This is amazing. This seat was absolutely amazing for first class. This is just like the 777, just like the 787-9. But it's 787-8. This was a really good seat for me. Perfect for any long haul flight. I'd say it's worth the money. Definitely for a long haul flight. Not sure about the short haul flights, but my opinion, definitely worth it for the long haul flights. Okay, so this is another look at the storage bin under your footrest there, so you can store like a little purse or whatever. And this is the galley. It's acceptable, or I should say accessible, to every single seat in first class, so wherever you are you can easily access it. So here are all the features of your IFE screen. You can go through these on your little Nintendo Switch there. It's not actually, by the way, but you can go through them on there. There's tons of things that you can do. I mean, you will never, and when I say never, you will never get bored on an American Airlines flight as long as you're alive. Really good seat. This is detachable. This came a little mangled there, but that's probably from someone not putting it up properly, and that's okay. So this is about the size of my hand. This is about the same thing as your remote in business class, but it's with a screen, so it's like an extra luxurious. You can go through your flight map there. I'll go ahead and show you that. That's Voyager 3D that provides the flight map. So let's see where we are over the United States. So we're almost over Rolla in the United States, that city right there. That's my home city, Memphis. You can see that right there. Also, we flew from them. If you haven't seen that trip report, go ahead and click the top link in the description. It's there. It's worth it to see it. So yeah, that's our flight map there, and I'll give you a minute to look at that. Okay, so the mood lighting on this flight was really cool, and you have like lots of accessories like the lighting and the AC vents that you can adjust there. But it's pretty far out to reach, but it's okay. It's kind of like the A319, but it's okay. Altitude, we stayed at 39,000 feet the whole time, and the outside air temperature is about negative 65.2 degrees, and we have about 315 miles to go in this trek. Alright, when you are ready, you can go ahead and put back that little Nintendo Switch there. And I enjoyed that little flight map there. Easily push it back and get ready for landing. You can keep it up if you want to, but I decided not to because I was leaving. Very, very, very comfortable seat here. Loved my experience on this seat. Just amazing. No complaints, literally none at all. I don't know what else I would complain about. And here's a special look at the crew cabin rest area. They'll use these for long-haul flights, especially like transatlantic and trans-Pacific flights. Not too much on the domestic flights, but these are all equipped with medical equipment in case there's a severe emergency on this flight where it is necessary. There's about 6 or 7 of these little beds here for pilots and flight attendants. Usually the flight attendants use the ones in the back, and the pilots use the ones in the front. This is the back galley area. The flight attendant told me that these are usually all full, but since it's a domestic flight, that these aren't full at all. Now heading back to my seat, I got a good look of the economy class mid-flight. They're all watching movies and stuff and really enjoying this amazing flight from Dallas to Chicago. Now this is really cool. I did some air-to-air plane spotting here on our approach into Chicago. This is obviously a wide-body jet leaving the northern area.
Short 20 minutes.
And right now we are in our descent to Chicago O'Hare International Airport. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not know exactly what happened with the landing footage in Chicago, but I do not have it. So enjoy these next few clips in Chicago.
Enjoyed having you all on board, and we hope to see you again. Fly American Airlines, have a very good afternoon. I'd also like to ask the flight attendants at this time, please prepare for landing.
It's good to meet you. Thank you. Since this aircraft's next flight was to London Heathrow Airport, the cleaning crews are ready to get on to the aircraft and sanitize it to its next flight out.
I haven't been to Chicago since I was your age, so.
Well, that's it for this trip report. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you like and subscribe for more. And we do have more trip reports coming, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.